It was our last few days in the North Branch house before we moved to Arizona. Grandpa Campbell and I loaded all of our belongings in a moving truck and headed south. We had beautiful weather and amazing scenery for our entire drive. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was Grandpa's first time in Arizona. I, of course, had stood in this very place many times before. We unloaded, then jumped a flight back home. 2 airline logos you won't see together again. You were the happiest baby, and I always had my camera standing by for those smiles. Some of our greatest friends came to visit and bid us farewell. Then we headed to Auntie Nikki's house for our family Christmas celebration. All sorts of special people were there. Even Auntie Colette and Uncle Jimmy couldn't put you down. You were so cute. It was your first holiday season and your first time meeting that jolly man in red, Santa Claus. Murphy and I are on the road on our way to Arizona. This is the beginning of our video log. We're already in bad weather, and this is just a half an hour after departure. Here's Murph in his seat, checking things out. We've got about 1,750 miles to go on our plotted route. That may change due to weather, depending on how it goes. But for now, we're just headed straight south, and we'll see what happens. It's December 21st, 2009, and just started out at about 10:30. There's 4 a.m., just entered Missouri, going strong. Starting to feel a little tired, so I think I might stop soon. I'd like to get on the back side of Kansas City, but Kansas City is still another 100 miles, so that's probably not going to happen. The good news is by the time I wake up, rush hour will be over anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So how do you think it's going so far? No comments? Nothing to add? Are you enjoying the drive? You're such a good boy. Such a good boy. Are you excited? Can you sit? Good, yeah, good boy. Did you think I would really leave you out? Of course not. Holy smokes, dude. Want some water? I carefully plotted my course to swing by Philmont Scout Ranch in Cimarron, New Mexico. In June of 1997, when I was 15 years old, I came to these very hills with my dad and my brother Jared. We hiked 140 miles in 2 weeks. Of all of my life experiences, Philmont Scout Ranch is very, very close to the top. Then Murph and I continued from Cimarron down through Santa Fe and onwards to Albuquerque, where we picked up the interstate. past Mount Humphrey and the San Francisco Peaks in Flagstaff on our home stretch into Phoenix. It was so nice to hit Phoenix by sundown. It was December 23rd of 2009. Our first order of business was a car wash. This was the first automatic wash I had ever taken the Kia through since I got it in August. Murph and I had just driven 1,750 miles over 2.5 to 3 days. We had half the country's worth of dirt on this thing, and she was filthy. There's one thing about living in Arizona, you gotta keep your ride nice. While Murph and I washed up the Kia in Arizona, Mom and Kate were taking off in an airplane in Minnesota. Ladies, your chariot awaits. Mom and Kate landed in Phoenix, and we were all there just in time for Christmas. Three beautiful little girls dressed in red for Christmas. And one happy grandpa. Kate was the cutest little holiday baby, and we all took turns holding her. Seriously, look at this outfit. What a cutie. Great grandma was there to visit Kate too, and there was so much Christmas joy. Then, just like that, our life in Arizona began. Everything was very new and different to Murphy, but one thing was for sure, he was gonna have to learn how to pee on a cactus. Mom got on the phone right away to Betty and said, "Let's get out and look at some houses." We must have looked at 24 houses in 3 days. Insanity. He's on a corner. If it was near a park, that would be cool. Hey. The housing market had just bottomed out, and previously $300,000 houses were just laying around for $100 grand. Our first time buying a house together was basically like shooting fish in a barrel. Despite all the amazing deals laying around, it was stressful and exhausting. And I told Mom, I think we just need to take a little weekend getaway. Kate was all cozy for a car ride, and we said goodbye to Murphy that morning and headed north. We made a big loop that weekend, from Lake Pleasant to Prescott to Jerome to back home. There is something so therapeutic and mesmerizing about the desert. It's clean, quiet, and simple. We must have sat on the side of the road for an hour, just watching the wild burros. Kate and I decided to try out the new backpack we got from Auntie Nikki, and it worked really well. We hiked together all around Lake Pleasant. This is definitely the best way to carry a baby while hiking. Mom just stood there, gazing out at the landscape, and she kept saying, "I just can't believe how beautiful it is. I just can't believe that this is our new home. I'm so happy to be here."